And I've got some farro just in a little bit of olive oil in a pan. And I'm just coating the grains in the oil. I do that so that the grains will stay separate for the rest of the cooking procedure. So once I have the grains all coated with oil, then I add some onion. So I'm going to put a little onion in right now and let that get soft. Then I'll come back and I'll add some broth. So if you do not know what farro is, here's what it looks like. When you buy it in the store, you see, it's a strain of wheat. Some people say that it's a cousin of spelt, which is another ancient grain. And you have to really add a lot of liquid to this when you're cooking it. So it comes in your grocery store in a bag like this. Now this is packed with protein, so it's very good for you, and it has a lot of fiber. And actually, this particular grain was known to the ancient Romans. They called it fad. But this is what they ate, farro. It has a lot of protein, kept them going on their military campaigns. So we're going to make farro cakes with this today. So once I have the onion in, then I'm going to add about 2 cups of a good beef broth. If you didn't want to use beef broth, you could use water. And we're going to let that go, just stirring it a couple times until all of that water is absorbed. And then what you'll have is something that looks like this. So here we have cooked farro. And now this has the onion in it. It has a little bit of olive oil. We're going to give it some salt, not too much because we're going to put cheese with this, and some pepper. Then what I like to add is an egg or 2. You want this to be able to hold together, so you have to gauge whether you need 1 or 2 eggs. So let's put 1 in to begin with, and you stir that around. And then you can add cheese, and I like a good binding cheese for this. So you could use a mozzarella cheese if you wanted to. You could use Asiago, which you know is that wonderful cow's milk cheese from around Asiago in the Veneto, or you could use a pecorino cheese, which is a sheep's milk cheese. So here we have some grated pecorino cheese. So I'm going to put that all in and stir that around. So once you have that all mixed, then you got to get your hands into it. So you want to have a pan ready. And I like to do this in a non-stick pan. So get a non-stick pan out, and you want to add a little bit of olive oil to that. Use a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just a bit in the pan. That's enough. Swirl that around. And now we can get into the farro cakes. So as I say, you have to get your hands into this. So make sure that your hands are perfectly clean. And you just want to take it and pack it down. Pack it down into your hands and make like a patty. Now you can make these 3 or 4 inches as wide as you want to make them, but pack them down and then you put them in your pan. Don't touch them because they have to brown on one side before you turn them over. Just press on them to keep them all together. And when they're brown on one side, well then we'll go and turn them over so that they can brown on the other side. So you're going to have to help me watch these because every once in a while you're going to have to go back and just push on them to form them into a nice looking patty.